This is a series of videos about lessons that I learned from a 24-year relationship that failed. Now, this wasn't a relationship of two angels. I'm not telling you to be like me. Instead, I'm showing y'all how being me at times wasn't enough or was flat out wrong. Enjoy. If you made it this far, welcome to the home stretch of this online self-imposed therapy session. At this point, it's all just final thoughts. If you're an empathetic person, it's impossible not to consider your actions before you do something, because I know that actions have consequences. Now, I know I'm empathetic because all I do is think about other people. It's annoying. It really is. It's helped me a lot. It's a useful tool, and so I haven't gotten rid of it. You know, it's funny, in this day and age, people talk about how they are a proud empath. But empaths can be some of the worst people, because we know how to hurt you better than anyone else, because we've taken the time to know your pain and even feel it with you. Yeah, I'm speaking as a person who has done it and had it done to me. Sometimes, well, a lot of times, I know better, but I just don't do better. That's just me being honest. I don't think people realize that good people sometimes fantasize about being bad or lashing out. It doesn't feel good to do it in reality, but I'm just saying, I'm a good person. And I know I am because of my overall track record of actions, my feelings, my passion I have for life and even human life in general. But even Jesus displayed moments of anger. So you know the rest of us ain't perfect. I wondered, how would people take these videos? I have definitely saw, as a lot of people online have the best intentions, and the comment section just destroys them. It's just amazing to see. It's almost like people don't know what good intentions are anymore. They question it. They question everything. Everything has to have an ulterior motive. Nothing can just be what it is. I could recognize that sickness, that extreme problem, because that's how our relationship had turned toward probably the middle, or and definitely toward the end. For society to have this kind of problem is very troubling. Very, very troubling. But as I thought about how people would take these videos, I just said to myself, you know what? It's all words to anyone who watches. Because the truth is, only me and my ex are the only ones who experienced the actual relationship. To us, it wasn't just words. It was all actions and history and all of the emotions that came with it. But I know words have tremendous power, especially if those words make people think, or people can relate to those words. Do I come across as bitter or angry? I thought about that too. I could only hope that I didn't. I think the truth will shine when you speak to people, your tone, you know what I mean? And regardless of how my words sounded, even in the video when I was talking about dishonesty and lies, nah, I'm just a beaten man. Seriously. I don't have the energy for bitter or angry or any of that stuff anymore. I felt that a lot during the later part of the relationship. I also never wanted to come across as though I was better than she was, so I made sure to preface each video by saying that there were no angels in this relationship. That was the absolute truth. In retrospect, I think me and her were both too similar at times. Two bulls, per se. But let me tell y'all something. The best times were when we were vulnerable at the same time, when we both submitted to the care and insecurities we felt. Because like many of you guys out there, we had been hurt by other people before we got together. My daughter's mother did a number on my heart, and I couldn't trust any woman after that. I said it in an earlier video, people change people, and a lot of us have damaged one another. All I wanted to share were the truths of what I learned. Because as viewers, you're not gonna know the entire relationship. You'll never know all of the information. It's not for you to know. And there won't be a tell-all book, even though it would be a bit of drama in it. If I did things correctly, I showed and proved that I wasn't a great partner, just as she wasn't. But we had each other for a good long while, 24 years. And I'm letting you know that it only lasts that long because it was not so bad. Please keep that in mind. You know, it makes me think about how hard it is not to think of someone as yours in a relationship. I mean, sure, no human being is owned by another, but the years matter. I keep saying that, right? So if you keep hearing the words, I'm yours, and you keep seeing the actions, like talking each day to each other, almost never missing a day, and being there always, and even when they leave, how they just find their way back into your lives, or how you just, in my case, oftentimes just let them back in. It's hard not to see y'all as belonging to one another in a very real way, like the universe has a plan. Possessing someone, that was more so her way of thinking than my own, because I'm more of a realist. You see, if you were mine's, then you'd never leave. If you were mine's, then no one would ever touch you but me. My house, my chair, my bed that I sleep in. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? That's my stuff, no one else's. And humans aren't just stuff and things. We think and move and have lives to lead and mistakes to make and grow from. My people out there, the truth is, unless you were the first one and the very last person she ever had in her lifespan, a woman isn't yours. That pussy ain't yours. She just chooses to be with you for as long as y'all are gonna last. Ladies, same rules apply to y'all. Enjoy the man. Enjoy the dick he gives, or enjoy the companionship, but he will always be his own man. He can say that he's yours, but that's a decision he's made, and that decision can change. But try not to let that scare you. Don't let that make you feel insecure, because you are the exact same way. You do what the hell you want to do or need to do. And that is the truth of living things. And that's the truth that's very hard for people like my ex to grasp or cope with. But it's a truth that makes itself evident each and every day of our lives. Look at yourselves in the mirror, folks. We're all hypocrites at some point. Try not to be, especially when it comes to yours and mine's and human possession. You know, there's a message that she left me a while ago that I saved. And in that message, she sincerely apologizes for accusations she made. In that same message, she admits that she's going through a lot and that things are tough for her. But she assured me that she loved me and that she's crazy about me. That message is the person that I loved, not the person that I had to walk away from. You know, sometimes when I smile, I feel guilty. Sometimes when I have a good time, I feel guilty. And I don't have to explain why, because those of you that love hard, you know why. But there's nothing I can do except embrace what I'm feeling. All of it. I knew her for half of my life. So everything I'm feeling is exactly what I'm supposed to feel. That's the truth. The years simply matter. But there were bad things that happened in those 24 years that did not have to happen. There were far too many times that I didn't listen to her when she was right. She didn't listen to me either when I was right. We knew each other and knew better for each other, but yet we still got in our own way. There was far too much resentment on her end that she would readily admit to, even if she was right here next to me. There were tons of instances where she had a hard time. That's considering our circumstances. But as she said, I wasn't a bastard. I never gamed her. There are things that I said that in time I went back on, but it wasn't lies. It was simply the fact that life changed and I no longer thought the way that I did before. But when it comes to games, and there was a time that she gamed me major, and it tore me apart. And she apologized, and she was ashamed. Now, it took me a while to deal with that, but I got through that. But on the way out, she tried to do it again. It was small shit, but the agreement was no more lies between us, small or otherwise. I had to stand my ground, or the next small lie would have been bigger. The truth was neither of us knew how to truly forget and forgive. And that's the thing about two passionate people. The joy and the pain are in equal measure. The caresses and kisses are electric, and the negative words cut you about as bad or worse than your own parents. The downside is that you become each other's possession, as I explained earlier. No one else can look at you. Passion and fire. She was into that astrology shit. And I'm a Libra, and I'm supposed to be balanced. I wish I was. I don't think I ever was. But I am a big fan of fairness. But, I ain't really into that astrology stuff. I believe you are who you are. I think the universe births us, not simple stars. And consider this. If true birth is conception, then why are you astrology folks looking at the day we exit a woman's womb? Technically, I literally existed as a little tiny dot, fertilized egg, far before the 29th of September. And my mom had the belly for 9 months to prove it. So how is it that I was born on the 29th? I was here already for months before that. Just some insight for y'all astrology people. I'm sure you guys have some sort of explanation for that. But yeah, she loved that astrology shit. She doesn't know this, but years ago, I saw her on the comment section of an astrology board or something like that, asking people for advice on loving a Libra man. I thought it was both funny and cute at the same time. It was nice to see that kind of effort. But obviously, didn't matter because neither of us got it right. Love was there, a sort of love. But half-ass love and full passion ain't enough, and hopefully I proved that with this series. I want your people out there to do better, to be better individuals. The world ain't gonna change for the better without more people understanding that love is the true politic. But we gotta know what love is. We gotta all be on the same page. And I can tell y'all I know more about it now than I did 24 years ago. Easy. The years matter. I know I keep saying that, but let me show you the gravity of that little tiny sentence. Every single decade, every 10 years of our lives had something major attached to it. Go ahead and look at your own life. From age 1 to 10, you grew up. Think about the stuff that happened in those 10 years. If you can remember those things, then they were major to you. First kiss, could have been sex too. People, unfortunately, start very young. I was exposed to pornography around that time. It affected me in a major way, among other things in my life. 11 years to 20 years. Shit, that's high school. Junior high school, I got jumped by a gang, and that ass whipping changed my entire life moving forward. I wasn't a kid anymore. I had to learn to fight and man up. And I realized I was a fighter. I realized I wasn't a quitter, among other lessons. Age 20 to 30, the birth of my daughter, me entering the military, my entire military career. 30 to 40, I had one son that died. Then I had another one that lived. I got a house, among other things. 40 to 50, I had my thyroid removed, and my health hasn't been the same since. A lot of ups and downs. The year I turned 50 was when my brother died. He died in the same hospital I was born in. Do you get the drift? Every 10 years. Folks, I'm facing 50 to 60 now. And there will be a life-changing event during that time. Could be the death of one of my parents, more health issues because I can feel them each day, or could be something good with my children or some place I travel to that transforms my thinking. Anything could be major good or bad, but something is gonna happen that will change my life moving forward. And on top of that, the world changes every decade, even if you try to stand still. So the years matter. Scary shit if you think about it, or exciting. Take your pick. But consider who you spend those decades with, or what you do with the time that you have, because age is the truth and it's undefeated. You know, the world is large, but it's possible me and her will meet again if and when she puts forth that effort to do so, because there's an apology that's owed to me. Things didn't have to end the way that they did, and I deserve better than what happened. I certainly wouldn't have done her the way that she did me, but that's something for her to realize. My realizations are in all of these videos, from the very first one that I ever did on It's Whatever, right into these that I'm doing now. And I'm throwing all of these realizations into the vast virtual world like dust in the wind. I know I love her, and I believe I always will, in my way. Never the way that was good enough for her. And I think about her each and every day at some moment. I don't do social media of any kind, so I haven't been looking to see, quote unquote, how she's doing and all that other stuff. Whatever time she's having, good or bad, thoughts of me won't be far away. Trust me, even if she's with another man. And that's not me being arrogant. That's the truth. The years matter, folks. In closing, I want to give a thanks to Ray Khalil for the song, Is It Worth It? I was able to put this series together in 6 hours with that song on repeat the entire time. Creativity sparks more creativity. That's the truth. Until next time, folks, take it light.